Assalamualaikum YouTube viewers. The topic of today's video is thermodynamics. So in this video I am going to explain what is thermodynamics, what are the main objectives of thermodynamics, and what are the limitations of thermodynamics. Okay, so moving on towards the definition of thermodynamics. What is thermodynamics? So thermodynamics is a branch of science in which we study the quantitative relationship between different forms of energy. So what do we study in thermodynamics? In thermodynamics we study the relationship between different types of energy, the quantitative relationship between different forms of energy. For example, if I talk about a reaction, for example A and B are the two reactants that forms a product. Okay, so there is some form of energy associated with A and B, and there is some form of energy that is associated with the products. So what happens? When the energy is absorbed by the reactants, then I can say the reaction is endothermic. And when the energy is released during the reaction, then I can say that the reaction overall is exothermic. So endothermic, exothermic, the transfer of heat, the temperature, the first, second, third law of thermodynamics, and absolute temperature, heat capacity, all of these topics are going to be studied in thermodynamics. So thermodynamics is actually a branch of science that deals with the study of different types of energies. Okay, so moving on towards the main objectives. So what do we do in thermodynamics? We decide the feasibility of a transformation. So if we are given some reaction, what do we have to do? We have to describe, where we can describe with the help of thermodynamics whether this reaction exists or not. Similarly, through thermodynamics we can derive various energy changes and the interrelations, like various energy changes, just like I have just shown you before, the endothermic or exothermic or the heat capacity. Okay, so these are different energy changes that occurs that I can describe through thermodynamics. So thermodynamics can also describe the phase rule, the law of mass action, etc. Thermodynamics is also used in the presentation of the experimental data in a correct manner. So these were the main objectives of thermodynamics. So limitations. What are the limitations of thermodynamics? Thermodynamics is not applicable when a substance is present in a small amounts. It is applicable to the substances, it is applicable to the reaction where large amount of substance is involved. And also it gives no explanation about the rate of the reaction. The rate of reactions is studied in chemical kinetics, and chemical thermodynamics cannot describe the rate of reaction. It only describes the energies, the change in energies that are involved in the reaction. And furthermore, thermodynamics is also limited to the equation. And the last thing is that it does not deal with the internal structure of atoms or molecules. It just deals with the energy involved. Okay, so that was all for today's video. Inshallah, see you in the next video. If you have any question, you can ask or comment.